From the flight deck to your TV set.
From the flight deck to your TV set, you're watching 5 Minutes with Herb. I'm your host, Herb Jackson, and as always, my goal here is to make this the best 5 minutes of your day. So I ask that you sit back, relax, and enjoy the show. Welcome aboard. My guest today is an athletically talented working actor. Prior to his entry into the entertainment world, he was a two-time world champion jet ski racer. Between his acting and stunt credits, he has over 170 titles to his name. He was also cast as Travis Ford in the Bounce original series Saints and Sinners. Also, he played the role of Kyle, the attorney general you don't want to cross, in Tyler Perry's The Haves and the Have-Nots. So without further ado, let's welcome aboard my man, Chris Gann. Battle-born from Reno, Nevada. As a young man, you're quite the athlete. In fact, up to the point where you became a world champion jet ski racer. Can you tell us a little about that?
Growing up in Lake Tahoe, I was introduced to jet skis when I was about 14 years old. And strangely enough, it changed my life. This is back when the stand-up models, not the sit-down jet skis, it's the ones you'd stand on, the one-person jet skis. Yeah. And I rented one, and I just love the water anyway. I mean, I've always had a love affair with water, rivers, and being on Lake Tahoe and everything. Mm-hmm. And being on top of the water, and it's like the first time I rode it, it's like I didn't want to do anything else in my life but ride that jet ski. And I continued to do it, and then I discovered that there was a racing circuit, and I went to races, and I watched and raced my first race and just got my butt kicked all over the place, but I fell in love with it. And I continued to do it, all the way through the pro ranks, and Herb, it took me all over the world.
That's pretty crazy. You're able to go ahead and, take your athletic talent and go for it and actually succeed. That's pretty inspiring. I mean, being trained as a stuntman to working as a stunt double for specific actors to now being a stunt coordinator. Tell us a little bit about that journey.
Well, yeah, it's funny. It's kind of a natural transgression in the business, so to speak. Not for everybody, but a stunt coordinator is basically like if you go watch Spider-Man and you're like, oh man, I love the wardrobe in this movie, and you look in the credits and there's that wardrobe, the key wardrobe department, the head of the wardrobe department. So basically, You're the head of the stunt department, meaning you're responsible to hire the performers, to create the stunts, sometimes to help the director, even direct the stunts, in a way, and set cameras up and everything. And basically, I probably have about 300 or 400 stunt credits over my career.
Wow.
And you are around it enough to where you learn these things. And I've been fortunate to do, to coordinate it because it's a lucrative living, and I get to work with the people, and I'm always learning at that. And I now get to hire a lot of the people who used to hire me.
And I got to tell you, as a fan of Ray Donovan, watching all those years, I had no idea that you were. I was watching you actually that whole time.
Oh man, Herb, you got good taste, by the way. That was a special show for me because, like you, huge fan.
Yes.
And I had a connection with Liev Schreiber, who played Ray Donovan. Real quickly, back in 1996, to get my SAG card, my agent said, "Hey, I can get you to be a stand-in on this movie, and they will give you your kind of qualify you to be a SAG member, a thing called vouchers." Right. This is 1996.
Okay.
And I knew very little about the industry. I didn't know what a stand-in was. I didn't know it, but I went there and they said, "Hey, you're perfect. You're the same size as him and everything." So I met, I got the job, and a couple days later I met a guy doing his first big movie named Liev Schreiber, who happens to be about the same age I am. We look somewhat alike. We're the same size.
Uh-huh.
And I worked with him for a few weeks, and we hit it off. And I told him that I was a stunt man, and he's like, "Man," he goes, now that you get your SAG card, if I do more stuff, you can be my stunt double, right?
Nice.
So fast forward 20 years, right? I never saw him and our paths almost crossed a bunch of times. You know, we almost doubled him on one of the Wolverine movies, but then it moved to Australia. I had all these almost of doubling him. I'm like, too bad, you know.
Yeah.
But I was on Ray Donovan actually doing a stunt for another guy. I was doubling an actor, and I was wigged. I was doubling a cowboy. I don't know. It was a cowboy who got drugged and thrown in a pool by Ray's dad.
Okay.
I don't know if you remember that episode, but I was doubling him, and the AD's like, and this is with a wig on, all wet after I just got thrown in a pool.
Yeah.
It's like, man, you would be a really good double for Liev, you know? And Shauna Duggins, who was a stunt coordinator for Ray Donovan, who's one of our elite stunt performers in our business, she said, yeah, Chris, he's right. If I'll see if I can use you. So, man, she used me soon after that, and I was a spot on double for him. And Ray or Liev, when he saw me, he's like, I know you from somewhere. And I told him the story, and we gave each other a hug. And you know, I loved being on that show so much, though, because I got to watch all those wonderful actors rehearse, and I got to watch Liev's process on, you know, becoming Ray Donovan. And that was just one of my favorite working experiences of my career.
So we continue on. Saints and Sinners.
Yeah.
You get cast as the mayor's husband.
The beautiful Gloria Rubin. Wow. Yes. I was in the pilot. I auditioned for Travis Ford, and I got it. And at that time, they were shooting a pilot, and they weren't 100% sure that they were going to get their first season.
Okay.
Now, if you're a fan of the show, you remember in the pilot, the Reverend of the church, which the whole episodic revolves around, gets killed.
Yeah.
So I'm giving you a little inside secret. After in that pilot, the writers didn't have the killer yet.
Oh,
they were still trying to figure it out at that point, and it was kind of like, you know, as we were shooting this pilot, which, you know, we might have shot it for 7 or 8 days. I think right in the middle of that, they found out that they got picked up.
Oh, okay.
And now the writers needed to figure out their direction, right? So I'm on my last day of the pilot. I'm really enjoying myself, but for me, I'm thinking, you know, hey, I might come back, I might not. I don't really know, you know.
Yeah.
But the producers and the showrunners pull me into a room. They go, hey, we need to talk to you. I'm like, oh, hope I didn't suck and you're firing me. But they pulled me in the room, and it was just the 4 of us, right? And they go, hey, we made a decision. First of all, we're getting picked up. Nobody knows this yet.
Yeah.
Secondly, you're the one who killed the pastor. And you can't let anybody know. You can't let any of the cast know. We don't want anybody to know. Not one person. That was a pretty neat experience for me. That was one of my first long reoccurring.
Really? So no one else knew that besides yourself?
At that point, no. And then, you know, this was episode 1, right?
Yeah.
And I think we did 10 episodes that first season. And even episodes 7 and 8, people were still trying to figure it out.
Not to have any spoilers, but there are several other members from Saints and Sinners that will be guests on 5 Minutes with Herb.
Nice.
So I had to ask you another quick one. Kyle, this dude, the Attorney General, is like, come on, man. If you don't know, folks, it's Tyler Perry's The Haves and the Have-Nots.
Whew. Yeah, man, a lot goes on in that show. It's wild. It's a wild ride.
Yes.
And, you know, I tell you, to work with Tyler Perry, again, another highlight of my career for sure. To see someone so successful, so hands-on. I mean, you know, I met him. He was behind the camera every time I worked. I think I did 15 episodes of that show over 3 seasons. He's right there. He's directing. He's writing everything. He's, you know, for a guy who's, you know, so financially successful and such a creative himself, to be that hands-on, as busy as he is, I mean, what an inspiration for me.
So, Chris, once again, thanks for joining me. However, before I let you go, I got to get you into the lightning round.
Yeah, I've been hearing about this lightning round. I'm fired up.
All right, my man. Here we go. Would you rather play a round of golf at Augusta or play tennis on the red clay at Roland Garros?
College tennis player here. 6 handicap golfer. I'm going to take Augusta.
There you go.
Yeah.
What's more difficult? Sinking a 12-foot birdie putt or hitting a 90-mile-an-hour fastball?
Fastball, for sure. Two hardest things in sports: hitting the fastball, stopping a hockey puck as a goalie.
Oh yeah, that's true. That's true. Yeah. Go-to exercise: snow skiing or mountain biking?
Whoo, man. I love both of those. It depends what time of year. Obviously, I'm a big avid skier. That's a winter thing. But I mountain bike year round, so I'm going to have to go mountain bike.
Your happy place: La Fortuna, Alajuela, Costa Rica, or Eagle Point, Utah?
Woo! You've done your research. You know that? I'm going to go Eagle Point, Utah. That is a sleeper of a ski resort that everybody should know about, but nobody does. And I go up there and I can ski powder all by myself. Yeah, that's my spot.
I had to go map it out myself. I'm not a skier, but I know that's the spot to go.
Yeah.
Okay, last one. We're going to draw a scenario here. One of your family members has been captured by the bad guys. Now, they're asking for all sorts of ransom and stuff, and you're in a pickle here. You have two people to choose from to get this family member back. Who are you going to call? Jack Bauer or Ray Donovan?
Whew, man. So you started that question, Herb, and I was like, this is Jack Bauer day, right? But how can I go against my boy Ray Donovan?
Exactly.
But it is a family member.
That's why I said family member. This is, this ain't like they kidnapped me and they're calling you. They kidnapped, Savannah or
yeah, right?
Or someone like that.
Oh, let me tell you something. Ray Donovan would go get, let's say it's Savannah, right? And the bad guys would have her, and Ray would just shoot her to confuse the bad guys and then kill the bad guys. But Jack Bauer, he's on Fox, right? So he's on a network. So he's not allowed to shoot a girl, right?
Yeah, no, not at all.
Right, and he's going to do some cool stuff. So I'm going to go with Jack Bauer because I know that Savannah's not going to get shot in the process of being rescued. Or Brodog, or Jackson, or any of my crazy kids.
That was awesome. That was so good. Chris, thank you so much for joining me here. I really appreciate you having coming on with me here.
You kidding me? Anytime, Herb.
Sure. We'll definitely have to do this again. Folks, that's another edition of 5 Minutes with Herb. Thanks for watching, and we'll catch you on the next one.